What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the Canon PowerShot ELPH300 HS. This is the perfect camera for vlogs or for home videos because it shoots really nice 1080p video at 24 frames per second. So first off, let's talk about the design. This camera is really small. It's 2.2 inches tall by 3.6 inches wide, and it's 1/8 of an inch thick. You can actually see it here compared to the Flip Ultra HD, which is the camera I used before, and it's just so much smaller. It's also actually really durable. It isn't too heavy, but it feels like it's built really well, and it just feels great in your hand. It's got like a rough feel to it, kind of like sandpaper, but obviously it doesn't hurt your finger. I use it every day in my daily vlog videos, and it has taken a good beating for me, and it's held up really well. It comes in red, black, or silver, and on the front of the camera you've got the 12.1 megapixel wide angle lens, which is really great for getting everything in shot. It also has the 5x optical zoom. On top you'll find the on-off button, the shutter button, and the zoom trigger. On the back is the 2.7 inch LCD display and the rest of the controls, including the playback, menu, video recording buttons, and a rocker switch between the auto and program shooting modes. On the side you'll find the HDMI and the AV output, so you can plug it up to your TV, and on the bottom you'll find the spot for the battery and the SD card reader. So next up, let's talk about the software of this camera. There's all kinds of little options and settings and filters and effects you can add to your videos and pictures. I hadn't even been able to play around with all of them just because there's so many of them, but I can't say that's a bad thing at all because you want as many features as you can have. But here's a few of the features that stood out to me and that I enjoy playing around with. First one is the smile detection. What it'll actually do is if you've got your face in front of the camera, when you smile, it's going to actually snap a picture. So if you're wanting to take a picture and have it set up beforehand, just make sure you're not smiling. As soon as you smile, it's going to snap a picture for you, and it actually works really well. I played around with it a lot and I didn't have any issues with it. And like I mentioned before, there's lots of different filters and effects you can add. Some of my favorites are the slow-mo effect, which is really cool. It'll actually record everything in slow-mo and it looks like actually really good. It does bring down the quality a little bit, but it still looks pretty good. And for some reason it cuts out the audio, so you're not going to get that super cool sound when you're doing the slow-mo effect. But it still looks great. Another one is the fisheye effect, which gives you the effect of having a fisheye lens on your camera, and that also looks pretty cool and was fun to play around with. So next up, let's talk about the performance of this camera. How well does it actually work? This camera is really fast and just feels really snappy when you use it. You can actually have it in an off state, turn it on, and take a picture within 2 seconds turning the camera on, which is pretty amazing. And also the video mode, there's only like a second delay in when you hit the record button and it actually starts recording. So this is great if you're wanting to catch something on video and you pull your camera out, take a picture, or start recording, and it'll start recording as fast as possible. The 1080p video on this camera looks amazing, as you can tell from some of the videos I'm showing you right here, especially for the size of the camera. It just puts out really good 1080p video at 24 frames per second. I'm just going to continue rolling a little bit more of 1080p footage. Make sure you are watching it in 1080p because you want to get the full effect of how well this camera shoots. So I'm outside right now doing a little vlog, just kind of showing you what the camera looks like when you're outside. The only thing I have an issue with this camera is the audio quality when the wind is blowing. I don't know how well you can hear it, but it's a little bit windy out here, kind of chilly, starting to get cold. But you may be able to hear that wind. I'm sure you can now. But other than that, like when it's not windy or if it doesn't pick up a big breeze, you're probably not going to be able to hear that, and it's going to sound amazing and sound great. It's a stereo microphone. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear that now because the wind's like blowing right over top of my camera. And the wide angle lens is really nice to help you get stuff in shot, especially if you're doing like video blogs like I do. It's really easy to get yourself in shot and not have to extend your arm way out to get yourself or your whole body in frame. So here's a quick test of the video quality inside. I'm just in my kitchen here walking around. The lighting's not the best in here, but it's still good, and as you can see, it reflects on the camera. And the audio sounds a lot better now that I'm inside also, as you can tell, rather than that wind. But yeah, so here I'll show you some of my tech stuff. Here's the MacBook Pro, fingerprints all over the screen, the iPad, iPhone. Gosh, I'm such a fanboy. As you can see, this camera is also really good in low lighting situations, so if it's kind of dark outside or if you're in a darker room and you don't have great lighting, it still records really nice and kind of brightens things up. Again, it is 5 times optical zoom. When you're taking a picture, it does zoom in pretty fast, but when you're recording a video, it kind of zooms in a little bit slower, but it does autofocus at the same time while you're zooming in. So that's actually really good and it works really well. Now this is a point and shoot PowerShot camera, so you do want this thing to take great pictures. It does a pretty good job at pictures. There's obviously better cameras out there for the price, but they are going to end up being a little bit bigger. But this camera, I think, specializes in video, but the pictures do look pretty good. As you can see right here, I can't give you the best picture possible in the video, but it does take great pictures. It's going to do just fine for you, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be satisfied with it. But I think the main selling point of this camera is just the 1080p video and how well it looks. The battery life on this camera is actually really good. I use it again in my daily videos and use it pretty much all day, and it lasts. And sometimes it does run out, but I'm recording video all day, so obviously that's going to drain battery a lot faster than if you're taking pictures. But what I did to make up for that is just bought a little $9 backup battery on Amazon. It was an off-brand one, and it works just fine, just as good as the Canon battery that came with it. So if you actually need battery life, there's spares on there, and they're really cheap. So now for my final review. I love this camera. If you're looking for a camera that's fast, portable, shoots amazing 1080p video, and at the same time takes some great pictures, I think this is the camera for you, especially for the price point it is of 200 bucks. I bought it when it was 229 bucks, and now I've actually found it on Amazon for 200. So if you want it, go ahead and pick it up in the description below. I'll give you guys a link. All of the big daily vloggers on YouTube like Shay Carl or CTFXC, you guys may check them out. They use this camera. I use it on a daily basis, and I couldn't go back to like a flip or anything like that. This camera is just so much smaller and does way better video than like flip cameras or any other vlogging cameras out there. I think it's just amazing. If you're doing tech videos like me, it's a pretty good camera because it does have autofocus and everything, but at the same time it is kind of annoying if you want to get really close focal points and like focus in on details. But you can do that, it's a little bit aggravating. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this review of the Canon PowerShot ELPH300 HS. Let me know in the comments how you like it. If you're going to be picking it up, give me your feedback. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on it, or if you want to see me do any more camera reviews or any specific cameras that you'd like to see me do a video on. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button below the video. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me out a lot. And also hit the subscribe button up there above the video, because that will let you know on your YouTube homepage when I post a new video like this. That is if it works, which lately it hasn't been. Very well, at least. Alright, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Make sure you guys go check out my friend's video that I was in, Wilson Tech 1. That's his channel. Go click that video. I talked about the Canon PowerShot that I just reviewed in this video for you guys. He does like tech current events and adds a funny little twist to it. So I'm sure you guys will like it. Go check out his channel, subscribe, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.